Hi everybody, it's Christine from Card Making Magic. Today I'm going to be using the kit that was the English Country Garden, and this came free with the Die Cutting Essentials Special Edition 5. Now I did a video with this a while ago and the cards that we made were very pretty, and there are also some of my cards featured in the actual magazine. But for this card I'm going to show you some other ways that we can use these dies, and we're also going to do some ink smooshing. So with the kit we had the trellis die, and I've cut this out. Now you can either use this as it is on your cards, or you can use it as a stencil where you can ink through it, or you can actually use modelling paste. For this one I've used this and I've cut it out several times, but if you position it very carefully on some card you can also use this as a stencil as well as using the actual vines. So we're going to be using some ink smooshing, so I've chosen Shaded Lilac and Picked Raspberry, and I've got a piece of acetate that I need to add the colour. I'm also going to show you how to be using some modelling paste or embossing paste, whichever you have in your particular collection. So let's get started and bake some cards. For my card I'm using watercolour card, and I've simply cut this A4 piece in half, and then I've cut those two pieces in half again. With Picked Raspberry I'm going to put some down onto my craft sheet, and then I'm going to spritz it with some water. Then with the piece of acetate I'm going to pick some up and add it to the watercolour card. Now do bear in mind that you will never get two pieces that will look the same. So I'm going to dry that off with the heat gun, and then we'll come in with another colour. Now when you're happy with that, don't get rid of this because we're going to use it again in a minute. Put some of the Shaded Lilac down and do exactly the same with your water spritzer. Clean your acetate off and pick up the other colour and add that to your card where you would like it. And again you're going to dry that off, and as you dry it the colours will lighten a little bit. So now we need to repeat the process with the same colours, and this time we're going to add it in a little bit of a different area. Now you can keep adding colour to yours till you get the correct depth that you want, and don't forget you'll never get two pieces the same. Now when you're drying this, if your card curls then just flip it over and go over your heat tool on the back, and that will help to level the card off again. Now to decorate this even further you can cut yourself a die cut and just use it as a stencil. So all I'm going to do is just add that to my card and just ink through it with the ink that you wish to use, and that will give you some added pattern to your design. Now another thing you can do is use this and then add all your leaves, and then add your modelling paste through these. So we need to keep the stencil in place, and we need to get some of the paste onto a palette knife, and then all I'm going to do is just spread this down that stencil to give me that lattice pattern on the card. Take off the excess and make sure that they're all nicely covered. And then once you're happy with that you can remove the stencil and you've got the lattice pattern on your card. Now you can also add the same at the bottom of your card if you wish. And then what I like to do with mine is sprinkle it with some white embossing powder. And then once you've heated that, that will give you a really nice bubbly effect on your cards. So there you've got 3 ideas. One is using the die cut as a stencil. The other one is using the die cut to add modelling paste, and I've done it at the top and the bottom. And this one has used the carefully placed vine leaves on there, and I've used that as a stencil on that card. Now I'm also going to use the vine leaves that I've cut on my card. And don't be afraid to snip these up if you want to add smaller pieces. Let me show you how I'm going to finish these cards off. I've taken the sentiment from the stamp set and I've die cut it into a circle. I've used the stencil again just to add some pattern to the top, and I've added some of the little vine leaves behind, and I'm going to add that to my card with foam pads underneath. Now for this one I've stamped onto some vellum the sentiment from the pack, and I've used the vine leaves around the edge, and I've added a little white panel beneath it, and that's going to sit on the front of the card. And then for this one I'm using some of the vine leaves to fill in the spaces in between the embossed pieces, and I'm going to add that to my card along there. And then at the bottom I've stamped a sentiment, I've cut it out, and I've added a little gemstone on the edge. And there you've got 3 really pretty cards ready to send for any occasion that you want to add the sentiment to. I hope you'll give ink smooshing a try. It really is a novel way to decorate your backgrounds, and as I said, you'll never get 2 pieces that look the same. Use any die cuts or any floral or leaf dies that you have in your collection to create a similar look. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, join me on the next one, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.